Same diagram we are going to draw from the front, where we only focus, we only concentrate on the ventral wall of endothelial heart tube. So here, let us see the endothelial heart tube. We have used green color. We will use the same green color. What are the changes? The changes will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Same way, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the changes. Now what are these changes? There will be development of 4 dilatations of the endothelial heart tube. Please name these 4 dilatations very clearly. They are also asked as 1 mark question answer or in MCQs also. From cephalic to caudal, these dilatations will be bulbus cordis, B-O-U-S, bulbus cordis, C-O-R-D-I-S. Next will be primitive ventricle. Next will be primitive atrium. And the last dilatation at the caudalmost end will be sinus venosus. It should be very clear. Please name these dilatations of the endothelial heart tube. Now we start from here. What should be at the caudal end? Caudal end, through septum transversum, there will be presence of all the 3 veins. Now if you can focus here, this region here, we have shown these 3 veins, umbilical, vitelline and the common cardinal right and left side. So what is present here at the caudal end? In the caudal end, there already is presence of, if you can name this as septum transversum. So please note down, the veins will open at the caudal end through septum transversum only. So here also, I want to make this as septum transversum at the caudal end of the heart tube below sinus venosus. Now I will show that the veins will open here and these veins will open in this way. The 2 common cardinal veins, here also I will draw the 2 common cardinal veins. Then I will show here the 2 umbilical veins, right and left umbilical veins. Then I will show here the 2 vitelline veins, right and left vitelline veins. So therefore, at the sinus venosus caudal end, the 3 veins, common cardinal from the body wall, umbilical from the connecting stalk as well as placenta, and vitelline from the yolk sac, both on right and left will open in the sinus venosus. So therefore, you should always name common cardinal vein. This will be the common cardinal vein. Always name it properly, umbilical vein. And always remember, in anatomy, whenever you are drawing any diagrams, the diagram is incomplete without any nomenclature, without any marking. So always mark the diagrams. And here, this will be vitelline veins. Arterial arches. So therefore, we have to show, see here, we are showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 arterial arches we have to show. And we will darken it, we shall slightly darken it, all the 6 arterial arches on either side. So the cephalic end of the heart tube, now it is called the arterial end with the help of right and left aortic arches. Where will they open? They will open in the respective dorsal aorta. So these are the 2 dorsal aorta which will continue dorsally on either side behind the pharynx. So these 2 dorsal aorta are basically posteriorly. We are just showing the continuation. These are the arterial arches. So therefore, let us name them as, here we will name them as arterial arches. 1, 2, 6. Please mark them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Arterial end, bulbus cordis. Now we show that the entire heart tube has divided into 4 different dilatations. Those dilatations from cephalic to caudal will be bulbus cordis, primitive ventricle, primitive atrium and sinus venosus. Sinus venosus is known as the venous end of the heart tube. Bulbus cordis will be known as the arterial end of heart tube, but there will be changes in bulbus cordis. They are first in the, we'll take this, first we'll draw here. Proximal part, this bulbus cordis, this proximal part will be known as the trabeculated part of the interior of the right atrium. So therefore, here this will be the trabeculated part of atrium of right ventricle, not atrium. So this will be the proximal part of bulbus cordis. So here, once again, we will name this as trabeculated part of interior of right ventricle, and this entire will be bulbus cordis. So, proximal portion, trabeculated part of the interior of right ventricle. Then the middle part. This middle part will be known as conus cordis. Conus, C-O-N-U-S, cordis, C-O-R-D-I-S, very important. Conus cordis, it is the outflow or outflowing part of the ventricle, primitive ventricle, conus cordis. This trabeculated part will be the inflowing part, and this will be the conus cordis outflowing part. And the distal segment, this segment here, this will be known as truncus arteriosus, very important. And remember, all these 3 divisions can be asked in 1 mark question answer or in the MCQs, etc. You can form it yourself. Truncus arteriosus will develop, or it is a segment of the distal 1/3 of the bulbus cordis. Conus cordis is the segment of the middle part of the bulbus cordis. The trabeculated part of the interior of right ventricle will be a segment of the proximal part of the bulbus cordis. These are the 3 segments of bulbus cordis. Now, truncus arteriosus will be connected with the aortic arches. So therefore, this truncus arteriosus will divide into right and left, into the right and left. And therefore, this right and left will be connected to the dorsal aorta through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arterial arches. So please note down, this truncus arteriosus will be connected with the help of these arterial arches. There will be 6 on one side, 6 on other side. These arterial arches, right and left, will be connecting the truncus arteriosus with that of the dorsal aorta. So, truncus arteriosus later on will differentiate into ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk. Therefore, here this truncus arteriosus will later on differentiate into, with small letters I am writing, ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk. And through ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk, these arterial arches will connect to the dorsal aorta. This much at this stage. Now let us complete here very fast. Bulbus cordis, then the next segment will be, if you name this next segment, here I will just have this division, primitive ventricle. Then the next segment will be primitive atrium, and the next segment will be sinus venosus, which will divide into, please note down, this sinus venosus will divide into the 2 horns of sinus venosus. This is 1, this is 2. Right and left horn of sinus venosus. And each horn will receive, how many veins? 1, 2, 3. So therefore, there will be the 2 vitelline, the 2 umbilical and the 2 common cardinal veins. Please name this as, here we will name this as the right and left horn of sinus venosus, and each sinus venosus will receive the veins. We know that common cardinal, umbilical and vitelline veins. So therefore, this is the final development of endothelial heart tube. Now the last important point at this stage. this entire endothelial heart tube, as the arterial arches will start developing, they will function, and therefore the heart will start its beating at day 22. On 22nd day the heart will start beating, and from day 24 the entire blood will circulate through these arteries, through these channels across the body. Here we finish our definitive heart stage at this point. Now in the next segment we will show that this heart tube will slowly curve, and this heart tube will bend in various directions and it will fold. And that process of curving and bending is known as the folding of heart tube. That will be in the next lecture. Thank you very much.